Nutrient density maxing has become a dominant force in online nutrition culture, promoting the idea that the smartest way to eat is to focus almost exclusively on high-value foods, things like liver, sardines, eggs, dark leafy greens, oysters, kefir, and other items ranked highly on nutrient density charts. Influencers highlight these foods as the most efficient way to pack essential vitamins and minerals into every bite, pushing people to optimize each meal for maximum micronutrient return. The concept seems scientific and empowering. Why waste calories on lower-value foods when you can build your diet around the densest nutritional sources available? But like many emerging wellness movements, nutrient density maxing comes with oversimplified logic, practical blind spots, and risks that become clearer the more aggressively someone pursues it. Nutrient density scoring systems, like the Aggregate Nutrient Density Index, (ENDI), nutrient per calorie comparisons, or lists ranking foods by vitamin and mineral content, do offer useful insights. They highlight how certain foods, especially organ meats, oily fish, herbs, seeds, and greens, deliver disproportionate amounts of nutrients relative to their caloric load. But these metrics aren't designed to dictate an entire eating style. They measure isolated nutrients, not enjoyment, digestion, satiety, or the broader context of a full diet. Eating only the top scorers can lead to imbalance, overwhelm, or even nutrient toxicity. For example, liver is extremely rich in vitamin A, iron, and copper, but consuming it frequently or in large quantities can push intake above safe levels, especially for pregnant individuals or those with iron disorders. Sardines are nutrient-dense but high in sodium. Dark greens are nutrient-packed but can trigger digestive issues or kidney stone risk for people sensitive to oxalates. A food's nutrient density does not automatically make it suitable for daily megaportions. The trend also encourages a kind of nutritional tunnel vision where complexity is reduced to rankings and scores. Foods lower on these scales, whole grains, potatoes, yogurt, tofu, fruit, legumes, get unfairly labeled as low value despite their well-established roles in balanced diets and long-term health outcomes. These foods provide energy, fiber variety, gut-friendly carbohydrates, and culinary flexibility that ultra-dense foods alone cannot supply. But under nutrient density maxing, people are often shamed or discouraged from eating them, leading to unnecessarily restrictive eating patterns. Some followers even begin eliminating entire food categories, not because of allergies or medical needs, but because they're deemed inefficient. This mindset can easily drift into orthorexia-like behaviors, where meals must be optimized rather than enjoyable or sustainable. Another overlooked issue is digestibility. Many of the most nutrient-dense foods are difficult for beginners to tolerate. Sardines, kefir, seaweed, and organ meats can cause nausea, reflux, bloating, or strong aversion, but the culture around nutrient density frames discomfort as a personal failing, something to push past for the sake of health. People with IBS, SIBO, gallbladder issues, or lactose intolerance may find nutrient-dense diets especially hard to follow, yet the trend rarely acknowledges these digestive realities. The pursuit of more nutrients can end up provoking more symptoms, discouraging people, or making them feel that their body is broken for not tolerating foods that influencers portray as universal superfoods. There are also sustainability concerns. The trend often heavily promotes foods like beef liver, wild-caught sardines, oysters, and grass-fed dairy, items that are either environmentally resource-intensive or vulnerable to overfishing pressures if demand spikes. While sardines and small oily fish can be relatively sustainable when sourced responsibly, increased online hype has already led to signs of supply strain in some regions. Organ meats, though technically a byproduct of livestock production, still tie individuals to high-impact animal agriculture if consumed regularly. The movement rarely grapples with these ecological tensions. It focuses on personal optimization, not environmental consequences. Accessibility poses a further problem. Many nutrient-dense foods are expensive, hard to find, or culturally unfamiliar. Fresh sardines, high-quality liver, pastured eggs, oysters, and specialty greens are not realistic staples for people living in food deserts, rural areas with limited grocery options, or households with tight budgets. The rhetoric of nutrient density maxing can unintentionally shame people for not being able to afford or access the foods influencers recommend. It reinforces the harmful idea that optimal nutrition is only available to those with disposable income, time for elaborate meal prep, and access to specialty markets. At its core, nutrient density is a valid concept, but turning it into a competition or rigid standard undermines its usefulness. A diet built with awareness of nutrient density can be incredibly helpful, but only when it remains flexible, culturally adaptable, financially realistic, and mindful of individual needs. Prioritizing a variety of whole foods, including those that aren't at the top of ranking charts, creates a far more sustainable path to health than obsessing over the densest options alone. Nutrient density maxing, when taken to extremes, misleads people into thinking more nutrients always equal better health. In reality, the most resilient diets balance density with comfort, digestion, satisfaction, and practicality. Without that balance, the pursuit of high-value foods can become another stressful, unsustainable wellness experiment that does more harm than good.